in the deepest reaches of the ancient world, where shadows dance with flames and the very air whispers of eternity, there exists a realm that mortals fear to name, the Underworld, a domain of infinite corridors, burning rivers, and chambers that echo with the footsteps of the dead. Yet within this realm of endings, there walks a figure who defies the very nature of his birthright. His name is Zagreus. To most, he's the rebellious son of Hades, the prince who seeks escape. But beneath that tale of defiance lies something darker and far more profound. Tonight, we'll uncover the truth buried deep beneath the halls of the house of Hades, a truth that even the gods would rather remain forgotten. This is not just a story of a game or a myth, but of a being caught between two worlds, life and death, obedience and freedom, father and son. Who is Zagreus, really, and what secret does his endless struggle conceal? If you enjoy topics like this, I'd really appreciate a quick like or even a subscribe. It helps more than you know. I'm always curious where you all are listening from. So, drop a comment with your location and what time it is there. Love seeing our little global community connect through similar interests. You can listen along to this video playing in the background, or if you plan on falling asleep, dim the lights and let's ease into tonight's journey together. This is the dark truth about Zagreus you never noticed. Zagreus is not merely the protagonist of Supergiant Games' masterpiece, but a complex figure whose roots stretch deep into the ancient myths of Greece, whose very existence challenges our understanding of death, family, and what it means to belong. As you settle into comfort, allow yourself to be transported to a world where gods walk among shades, where every corridor holds secrets millennia old, and where a young prince fights not for glory or gold, but for something far more precious, the truth about himself and the right to choose his own destiny. This is a tale that will carry you gently into rest while painting vivid pictures of divine drama, family dysfunction on a cosmic scale, and the eternal question of whether we are bound by the circumstances of our birth or free to forge our own path. Zagreus stands at the crossroads of ancient mythology and modern storytelling, a character who embodies the timeless struggle of youth against authority, of individual will against institutional power. He is the son of Hades, lord of the dead, yet he burns with a life force that seems to mock the very foundations of his father's realm. He is a prince of darkness who yearns for light, a god of the underworld who dreams of feeling sunlight on his face. But who is Zagreus, really? To understand him, we must peel back layers of interpretation, translation, and adaptation that have accumulated over centuries. We must examine not only the modern incarnation that has captured the hearts of players worldwide, but also the ancient fragments of myth that first spoke his name. We must explore the contradictions that define him. The gentle soul who wields deadly weapons, the rebellious son who loves his family, the god who questions the very nature of godhood. In the ancient sources, Zagreus appears as a shadowy figure, sometimes identified with Dionysus, sometimes standing alone as a deity of the hunt and the underworld. The Romans knew him, the mystery cults whispered his name, and the poets wove him into their verses as a figure of death and rebirth. Yet these ancient glimpses only hint at the complexity that modern interpretation has revealed. The Zagreus we know today is a masterful synthesis of mythological tradition and contemporary storytelling, a character who speaks to modern audiences while honoring his ancient roots. He is every young person who has ever felt misunderstood by their parents, every individual who has questioned the path laid out for them, every soul who has wondered if there might be something more beyond the familiar walls of home. As we delve deeper into his story, we will explore the rich tapestry of relationships that define his existence, his complicated bond with Hades, a father who rules with absolute authority yet struggles to understand his son's restless spirit, his connection to Persephone, the mother whose absence shapes his entire worldview, his interactions with the colourful cast of gods, shades, and supernatural beings who populate his world, each relationship revealing new facets of his character. We will examine the symbolism embedded in his very being, the heterochromia that marks him as different, the burning feet that suggest his incompatibility with his realm, the weapons he wields, and the boons he receives. Every aspect of Zagreus has been carefully crafted to tell a story not just of individual growth, but of universal themes that resonate across cultures and centuries. The House of Hades itself becomes a character in this tale, its halls and chambers reflecting the psychological landscape of a family in crisis. Each room tells a story, each conversation reveals hidden depths, and each attempt to escape becomes not just a physical journey, but an emotional and spiritual odyssey.
The repetitive nature of Zagreus's escape attempts mirrors the cyclical nature of personal growth, the way we must often revisit the same challenges again and again before we truly master them. Tonight's journey will take us through the complete arc of Zagreus's development, from his initial restlessness and confusion to his eventual understanding of his place in the cosmic order. We will explore how his character serves as a bridge between the ancient world and our modern understanding of psychology, family dynamics, and personal agency. This is more than just the story of a video game character. This is an exploration of how ancient myths continue to speak to us, how timeless themes find new expression in contemporary media, and how the figure of Zagreus represents something profound about the human condition. His struggle to escape the underworld becomes our own struggle to transcend our limitations, to grow beyond the expectations placed upon us, and to find our own definition of home and belonging. As you listen to this tale unfold, let yourself be drawn into the hypnotic rhythm of Zagreus's journey. Feel the weight of his weapons in his hands, the heat of the underworld's fires, the cool touch of divine power flowing through his veins. Experience the frustration of his failed escapes, the joy of his small victories, and the profound satisfaction of his eventual understanding. The story of Zagreus is ultimately a story of transformation, not just of a character within a game, but of how we understand mythology itself in the modern age. It is a testament to the power of interactive storytelling to create emotional connections that rival the greatest works of literature. It is proof that the ancient gods still have something to teach us, if only we are willing to listen. So close your eyes, let your breathing slow, and prepare to descend into the depths of the underworld. There, in chambers lit by supernatural fire and cooled by the waters of Lethe, we will uncover the truth about Zagreus, the god who dared to question death itself, the son who chose love over duty, and the prince who discovered that sometimes the greatest escape is learning to embrace where you truly belong. Chapter 1. The Ancient Echoes. Origins in Classical Mythology explores Zagreus's earliest appearances in Greek and Roman sources, his connection to Dionysus and the mystery cults, the fragmentary nature of ancient references, and how these scattered mythological pieces laid the foundation for his modern interpretation. Let's journey back then, beyond the vibrant hues of supergiant's creation to the shadowy corners of ancient Greece, to a world where gods and monsters walked the earth, and the seeds of our modern Zagreus were first sown. But be warned, the path we tread is not clearly marked. The historical Zagreus is more a whisper than a shout, a collection of fragmented myths and conflicting accounts. Unlike the well-documented Olympian gods, Zagreus exists in the periphery, a figure shrouded in mystery and often associated with the darker, more primal aspects of divinity. The earliest mentions of Zagreus are found in the writings of ancient poets and playwrights, dating back to the 6th century BC. These references, though sparse, paint a picture of a powerful, chthonic deity, connected to the earth and the cycle of life and death. One of the most significant associations is with Dionysus, the god of wine, revelry, and ecstatic transformation. In some accounts, Zagreus is considered an earlier incarnation of Dionysus, a divine child born to Zeus and Persephone, queen of the underworld. This divine parentage immediately establishes Zagreus as a figure of immense importance, linking him to both the heavens and the depths of the earth. The myth of Zagreus takes a particularly dark turn. According to the Orphic tradition, a religious and philosophical movement in ancient Greece, the infant Zagreus was brutally murdered by the Titans, the primordial beings who preceded the Olympian gods. Driven by Hera's jealousy, the Titans lured Zagreus with toys and then tore him apart, devouring his flesh. This act of savage violence has profound implications. It represents a primal fall from grace, a shattering of innocence, and the introduction of mortality into the divine realm. But from this destruction, something new emerges. Zeus, enraged by the Titans' actions, strikes them down with his thunderbolts, and from their ashes humanity is born. What you're hearing is a creation myth, a story that attempts to explain the origins of human existence and the inherent duality of our nature. According to the Orphic tradition, we carry within us both the divine spark of Zagreus and the titanic essence of our destroyers. This internal conflict between good and evil, spirit and matter, is a central theme in Orphic philosophy and resonates deeply with the themes explored in the game. The story of Zagreus' death and rebirth is not just a gruesome tale, it's a powerful metaphor for the cyclical nature of life, death, and regeneration. It's a reminder that even in the face of unimaginable loss, hope and renewal are always possible. But the Orphic myth is not the only version of Zagreus' story. Other accounts portray him as a more benign figure, a protector of the underworld, or even a psychopomp guiding souls to the afterlife. These variations highlight the fluid and multifaceted nature of ancient mythology, where stories were constantly evolving and adapting to different cultural contexts. The mysteries surrounding Zagreus extend beyond his individual mythology. He is also closely associated with the mystery cults of ancient Greece, secret religious societies that offered initiates a path to spiritual enlightenment and immortality. These cults, shrouded in secrecy and ritual, often centered around the worship of deities like Dionysus and Persephone, and Zagreus likely played a significant role in their esoteric practices. Imagine these secret gatherings held under the cover of darkness where initiates would participate in elaborate rituals, hoping to unlock the secrets of life and death. The details of these rituals remain largely unknown, but it's believed that they involved symbolic reenactments of Zagreus' death and resurrection, as well as the consumption of sacred substances believed to induce altered states of consciousness. The appeal of these mystery cults lay in their promise of personal transformation and transcendence. They offered initiates a way to overcome the limitations of their mortal existence and to connect with the divine realm. The figure of Zagreus, as a god who had experienced death and rebirth, served as a powerful symbol of hope and renewal for those seeking spiritual liberation. It's important to acknowledge that our understanding of Zagreus and his role in ancient Greek religion is incomplete. The surviving sources are fragmentary and often contradictory. We have to piece together the puzzle from scattered references in poetry, philosophy, and archaeological evidence. This scarcity of information, however, only adds to the allure of Zagreus. He remains a figure of mystery, a tantalizing enigma that invites us to delve deeper into the ancient world and to explore the hidden dimensions of human consciousness. What you're left with is a collection of tantalizing clues, whispers from the past that hint at a much larger story. A story of divine birth, brutal murder, and miraculous rebirth. A story that speaks to the fundamental human desire for meaning, purpose, and immortality. These scattered mythological pieces, though fragmented, laid the foundation for the modern interpretation of Zagreus, that in. They provide a rich tapestry of symbolism and thematic resonance that Supergiant Games masterfully weaves into their narrative. But how did these ancient echoes transform into the vibrant and compelling character we know today? How did the fragments of myth coalesce into the Prince of the Underworld with his striking heterochromia and burning desire for freedom? That's what we'll explore next, as we delve into the character design and symbolism that define the modern Zagreus. Chapter 2, Prince of Contradictions, Character Design and Symbolism, delves into the visual and thematic elements that define modern Zagreus, including his heterochromia, burning feet, personality traits, relationships with family members, and how every aspect of his design serves the larger narrative themes. The Underworld is a place of stark contrasts, a realm both terrifying and strangely beautiful. and at its heart stands Zagreus, a figure defined by contradiction. He is the prince of the underworld, yet he yearns for the light. He is the son of Hades, yet he seeks to defy his father's will. How can we decipher the visual and thematic language woven into his very being? Let's begin with the most striking feature, his eyes. Heterochromia. One eye a burning ember, the other a cool, ethereal blue. This isn't merely a cosmetic choice, it's a profound visual representation of his dual nature. The red eye, fiery and passionate, speaks to his rebellious spirit, his burning desire to escape the underworld. It's the color of defiance, of anger, of the unwavering will to forge his own path. And the blue? It hints at something deeper, something perhaps more melancholic. It whispers of a longing for something beyond the ashen skies of his home, a yearning for the world of the living, for the embrace of his true mother, Persephone. It's the color of the sky, of the ocean, of the boundless possibilities that lie beyond the underworld's borders. Together, these eyes tell a story of inner conflict, a constant tension between duty and desire, between the darkness of his lineage and the light of his aspirations. Consider, too, his burning feet, a detail often overlooked but one laden with symbolism. He leaves trails of embers wherever he treads, a constant reminder of his connection to the underworld, to the fires of Tartarus. Yet they also speak to his constant movement, his relentless pursuit of freedom. He is always running, always striving, never content to remain in one place. These burning footprints are a visual metaphor for his internal restlessness, his inability to find peace within the confines of his father's realm. But it's not just his physical appearance that speaks volumes. Zagreus's personality is a carefully crafted tapestry of traits, each thread contributing to the overall narrative. He is rebellious, yes, but also surprisingly compassionate. He is driven by a desire for freedom, but he also cares deeply for the inhabitants of the house of Hades, even his own father. He is witty, charming, and possesses a disarming sense of humor, even in the face of death. Think about his interactions with the other characters. His playful banter with Thanatos, the embodiment of death itself. His respectful, almost tender exchanges with Nyx, the primordial goddess of night. His exasperated but ultimately loving relationship with his mentor, Achilles. Each of these relationships reveals a different facet of Zagreus's personality, highlighting his capacity for connection, empathy, and even love. And what about his relationship with Hades? It's a complex, fraught dynamic, defined by misunderstanding, resentment, and a deep-seated lack of communication. Hades, the stern and unyielding ruler of the underworld, struggles to understand his son's rebellious nature. He sees Zagreus's desire to escape as a betrayal, a rejection of his legacy. He is a father who struggles to express affection, a figure trapped by his own rigid expectations. Zagreus, in turn, sees Hades as a distant, unapproachable figure, a tyrant who demands obedience and offers little in the way of love or understanding. He longs for his father's approval, but he refuses to sacrifice his own dreams in order to obtain it. This conflict, this fundamental clash of wills, lies at the heart of the game's narrative. It's a story about parental expectations, about the struggle to find one's own identity in the face of overwhelming pressure, about the courage to defy authority in pursuit of one's own happiness. Even the weapons Zagreus wields are imbued with symbolic meaning. Each weapon represents a different aspect of his personality, a different approach to overcoming the challenges that lie before him. The Stygian blade, a traditional weapon of the underworld, represents his connection to his lineage, his inherent strength and combat prowess. The eternal spear, long and piercing, speaks to his determination, his unwavering focus on his goal. The shield of chaos, a defensive weapon, highlights his resilience, his ability to withstand even the most devastating blows. The coronat bow, swift and precise, embodies his agility, his cunning, his ability to adapt to any situation. And the adamant rail, a powerful ranged weapon, represents his willingness to embrace unconventional methods, to challenge the established order. And the boons, the blessings bestowed upon Zagreus by the Olympian gods, these aren't merely random power-ups. They are carefully chosen abilities that reflect the gods' personalities and their relationships with Zagreus. Zeus grants him the power of lightning, representing his raw power and his connection to the sky. Poseidon bestows upon him the ability to control the tides, symbolizing his fluidity and his adaptability. Athena offers him defensive skills, highlighting her wisdom and her strategic thinking. Aphrodite grants him the power of charm, reflecting her beauty and her ability to influence others. Each boon adds another layer of depth to Zagreus's character, revealing his potential for growth, his capacity to learn from others, his ability to harness the power of the gods themselves. Even the House of Hades itself can be seen as a character in its own right. It's a living, breathing entity, constantly shifting and changing, reflecting the moods and emotions of its inhabitants. The administrative chamber, where Hades conducts his business, is cold and sterile, a reflection of his rigid personality. The lounge, where the shades gather to socialize, is warm and inviting, a haven from the harsh realities of the underworld. Zagreus's own chamber, a sanctuary of sorts, is filled with personal mementos, reminders of his past, glimpses into his hopes for the future. The House of Hades is not merely a setting, it's an extension of the characters themselves, a physical manifestation of their inner lives. The repetitive nature of the escape attempts is also significant. Each death, each return to the House of Hades is not a failure, but an opportunity for growth. Zagreus learns from his mistakes. He refines his skills. He strengthens his relationships with the other characters. The cyclical nature of the gameplay mirrors the cyclical nature of life itself, the constant process of death and rebirth, of learning and growing. You see, every aspect of Zagreus's design, from his heterochromatic eyes to his burning feet, from his rebellious personality to his complex relationships, serves a purpose. It all contributes to the larger narrative themes of identity, rebellion, and the search for belonging. He is a character who embodies contradiction, a figure who challenges our assumptions, a prince who refuses to be defined by his lineage. He is a hero for our time, a symbol of hope in the face of adversity, a reminder that even in the darkest of places, there is always the possibility of light. But the secrets of Zagreus's design run far deeper than mere symbolism. The choices made by the developers at Supergiant Games were incredibly deliberate, informed by a deep understanding of mythology, psychology, and storytelling. But where did these ideas come from? What was the spark of inspiration that ignited this brilliant character design? That's what we'll uncover next, as we delve into the origins of Zagreus's character and the artistic choices that brought him to life. Chapter 3, The Eternal Escape, Gameplay as Storytelling, examines how the repetitive nature of escape attempts mirrors psychological growth, the significance of each weapon and boon, the House of Hades as a living character, and how game mechanics serve to deepen our understanding of Zagreus's journey. The House of Hades, though, is far more than just a backdrop. It's a labyrinthine, ever-shifting character in its own right. Each escape attempt reveals new chambers, new challenges, and new facets of its personality. It's a reflection of Hades himself, cold, calculating, but with a strange, almost grudging respect for Zagreus's tenacity. Think of the game's core loop: death, rebirth, and another run. At first glance, it might seem repetitive, even frustrating. But look closer. Each escape attempt is a microcosm of psychological growth. Each failure is a lesson learned. Each boon is a new perspective, a new tool for confronting the challenges ahead. You, as Zagreus, are not simply trying to escape the underworld. You are trying to escape your own limitations. Consider the weapons. The Stygian blade, a gift from Achilles, represents duty and tradition. The eternal spear, a weapon of precision and control, reflects a desire for order and perfection. The shield of chaos, a bastion of defense, embodies resilience and self-preservation. The coronopt bow, a weapon of agility and adaptability, symbolizes freedom and independence. And the adamant rail, a construct of pure destructive power, represents rebellion and a rejection of the established order. Each weapon offers a different play style, a different approach to the challenges of the underworld. But more than that, each weapon offers a different lens through which to view Zagreus himself. Are you a warrior bound by duty, a strategist seeking control, a survivor clinging to what little protection you can find? a free spirit unbound by convention, or a revolutionary determined to tear down the old order. The choice is yours, and with each choice you shape Zagreus into something new. But the weapons are only half the story. The boons, gifts from the Olympian gods, are where the real magic happens. Each god offers a unique set of abilities, reflecting their own personalities and domains. Zeus grants you the power of lightning, turning your attacks into shocking displays of raw energy. Poseidon empowers you with the force of the ocean, allowing you to knock back your enemies with tidal waves of force. Athena grants you defensive prowess, deflecting attacks with her impenetrable aegis. And then there's Aphrodite, goddess of love and beauty, who weakens your foes with the power of infatuation. Or Ares, god of war, who imbues your attacks with the bloodlust of battle. Each boon not only enhances your abilities, but also introduces new tactical possibilities. Do you focus on raw damage, relying on Zeus's lightning to obliterate your foes? Or do you prioritize control, using Poseidon's waves to manipulate the battlefield? Perhaps you prefer a more defensive approach, relying on Athena's protection to weather the storm. The combinations are endless, and each run presents a new opportunity to experiment, to discover synergies, to forge your own unique path through the Underworld. But the boons are more than just tactical advantages. They are glimpses into the minds of the gods, windows into their desires, their fears, their hopes. They are a reminder that even in the depths of the Underworld you are not alone. You are connected to a vast, interconnected web of divine power. A web that can either empower you or ensnare you. And what of the House of Hades itself? It's not just a series of rooms connected by corridors. It's a living, breathing entity, constantly shifting and changing in response to your actions. The architecture reflects Hades' own personality, imposing, austere, and utterly unforgiving. The very air crackles with a sense of oppressive power. Yet, within this oppressive atmosphere, there are pockets of warmth, of humanity. The training grounds where you hone your skills with the aid of Achilles. The lounge where you can relax and converse with the other residents of the house. The music stand where Orpheus strums his mournful melodies. These spaces offer a respite from the relentless challenges of the Underworld, a reminder that even in the realm of the dead, life finds a way. The house is also a reflection of Zagreus' own internal state. As he grows stronger, as he learns more about his past, the house begins to change, revealing new secrets, new pathways, new possibilities. The very architecture seems to bend to his will, reflecting his growing sense of purpose and determination. Think of the administrative chamber, where Hades conducts his endless paperwork. It's a symbol of his obsessive need for control, his inability to let go of the past. Or the fated list of minor prophecies, a seemingly endless scroll detailing the destinies of all who dwell in the Underworld. It's a reminder of the weight of fate, the feeling that everything is predetermined, that free will is an illusion. But Zagreus is not bound by fate. He is determined to forge his own path, to defy the expectations of his father, to escape the Underworld and discover his own destiny. And with each escape attempt, he chips away at the foundations of the house, revealing new cracks, new vulnerabilities. The game mechanics themselves are deeply intertwined with the narrative. The repetitive nature of the escape attempts mirrors the cyclical nature of life and death, the constant struggle for growth and self-improvement. The roguelike structure, with its randomly generated levels and ever-changing challenges, reflects the unpredictable nature of life, the feeling that you never know what's around the corner. And the permadeath mechanic, the fact that you lose all your progress upon dying, forces you to confront your own mortality, to accept that failure is an inevitable part of the journey. But even in death there is growth. You return to the House of Hades with new knowledge, new skills, new insights. You learn from your mistakes, adapt to the challenges, and emerge stronger than before. Each death is not an end but a beginning, a chance to start anew, to try a different approach, to explore a different path. And with each rebirth, you come closer to understanding yourself, to understanding your purpose, to understanding the true nature of the Underworld. The nectar and ambrosia system is also deeply integrated into the narrative. By gifting these precious commodities to the other characters, you strengthen your bonds with them, unlocking new stories, new abilities, and new insights into their personalities. These gifts are not just transactional, they are acts of connection, gestures of empathy, symbols of your willingness to see beyond the surface and connect with the people around you. Giving nectar to Cerberus, for example, unlocks new combat abilities, reflecting the dog's growing affection for Zagreus. Giving ambrosia to the Olympian gods strengthens your boons, reflecting their growing respect for your tenacity and skill. And giving gifts to the other residents of the House of Hades reveals their hidden depths, their hopes, their fears, their regrets. Through these interactions, you come to understand that even in the underworld, relationships matter. That even in the realm of the dead, connection is possible. That even in the face of death, love and compassion can still flourish. Consider the significance of the Mirror of Night. Located in Zagreus' bedroom, this mirror allows him to spin darkness, a resource gathered during his escape attempts, to unlock permanent upgrades. These upgrades range from increased health and damage to improved movement speed and resource gathering. But the Mirror of Night is more than just a convenient upgrade system. It's a reflection of Zagreus' own self-improvement, a tangible representation of his growth as a warrior and as a person. Each upgrade represents a new skill learned, a new perspective gained, a new facet of his personality unlocked. The ability to redistribute these upgrades at any time further emphasizes the idea of personal growth and adaptation. Zagreus is not locked into a single path. He can experiment, adapt, and evolve as he sees fit, constantly refining his skills and strategies to overcome the challenges ahead. The Mirror of Night also serves as a reminder that Zagreus is not alone on his journey. The upgrades are often tied to the memories and experiences of others, reflecting the influence of his relationships on his personal development. Achilles' guidance, Nyx's wisdom, and the support of his other allies all contribute to his growth, shaping him into the hero he is destined to become. But perhaps the most subtle yet profound aspect of the gameplay as storytelling is the dialogue. The conversations between Zagreus and the other characters are not just exposition dumps. They are carefully crafted exchanges that reveal the nuances of their personalities, their relationships, and their motivations. Each line of dialogue is imbued with meaning, hinting at hidden depths, unspoken desires, and long-held secrets. The characters' tone of voice, their body language, and their choice of words all contribute to the overall narrative, creating a rich and immersive experience that goes far beyond the simple mechanics of the game. And the fact that the dialogue changes and evolves over time, reflecting Zagreus' progress and the shifting dynamics of his relationships, further enhances the sense of immersion and realism. The characters are not static entities. They are dynamic individuals who grow and change along with Zagreus, responding to his actions and shaping his destiny. But the question remains, what is the true nature of Zagreus' journey? Is he simply trying to escape the underworld? Or is he searching for something more? Is he driven by a desire for freedom? Or is he motivated by a deeper, more profound purpose? And what will he find when he finally reaches the surface? These are the questions that drive the narrative forward, compelling you to continue playing, to continue exploring, to continue searching for answers. And as you delve deeper into the underworld, you begin to realize that the answers you seek are not to be found in the destination, but in the journey itself. But this discovery was only the beginning, because next we uncover the complex web of relationships that define Zagreus' world, the family ties that bind him to both the mortal and divine realms. Before we dive deeper into this incredible journey, I'm curious, where in the world are you watching this from? Drop a comment below and let our global community know. And if you're finding this as mind-blowing as I am, hit that like button to help more people discover this story. Chapter 4. Family Ties That Bind, Relationships and Divine Drama. Focuses on Zagreus' complex relationships with Hades, Persephone, and the extended family of gods, exploring themes of parental expectations, abandonment, forgiveness, and how family dysfunction plays out on a cosmic scale. The Underworld, a place of shadows and echoes, is not merely a geographical location. It's a stage for profound familial dramas, the kind that ripple through eternity and shape the destinies of gods and mortals alike. And at the heart of this drama stands Zagreus, a prince caught in a web of complex relationships, each thread woven with love, resentment, and the weight of divine expectations. Let's begin with the most obvious, and perhaps the most fraught, relationship, Zagreus and his father Hades. The lord of the underworld, a figure of immense power and stoic reserve, presents a formidable, often impenetrable, paternal figure. From Zagreus's perspective, Hades is a distant, demanding, and seemingly disapproving father. He's a warden, a judge, an administrator of the dead, rarely offering warmth or encouragement. But is this the full picture? Or is there more to Hades than meets the eye? Consider the immense responsibility that rests upon his shoulders. He maintains the delicate balance of the underworld, ensuring the souls of the departed find their proper place. This task demands unwavering focus and a certain emotional detachment. Could it be that Hades's perceived coldness is simply a necessary facade, a shield against the overwhelming weight of his duties? Perhaps he struggles to express affection in a way that Zagreus can understand. Perhaps he sees Zagreus's rebellious nature as a threat to the established order, a disruption he cannot afford. Whatever the reason, the chasm between father and son is palpable, fueling Zagreus's desire to escape, to prove himself worthy, to find a place where he truly belongs. Think about the environment in which they exist. The House of Hades isn't exactly conducive to heart-to-heart talks over cocoa. It's a bureaucratic nightmare filled with the wails of the damned and the shuffling of paperwork. Every conversation is potentially overheard, every action scrutinized. This pressure cooker atmosphere can only exacerbate existing tensions. And then there's the question of Zagreus's origins. The circumstances surrounding his birth are shrouded in mystery, a subject whispered about but rarely spoken aloud. Hades, the ever-dutiful husband, suddenly has a son whose mother is unclear. This ambiguity casts a shadow over their relationship, adding another layer of complexity to an already difficult dynamic. Now, let's turn to Persephone, Zagreus's mother figure, whose presence is both a beacon of hope and a source of profound sadness. Her story is one of abduction, forced marriage, and a bittersweet compromise that binds her to the underworld for a portion of each year. Yet, despite her own struggles, she offers Zagreus unwavering love and support. Persephone represents warmth, creativity, and a connection to the world above, qualities that stand in stark contrast to the cold, rigid environment of the House of Hades. She encourages Zagreus's artistic pursuits, offering him solace and understanding when his father seems incapable of doing so. But her presence is also a constant reminder of what Zagreus lacks: a traditional family, a sense of belonging. Her annual departure to the mortal realm leaves a void in his life, a gaping hole that fuels his yearning for something more. Consider the weight of Persephone's decision to leave each year. She loves Zagreus, she loves her husband, but she also craves the sunlit world above. Her departure is a constant renegotiation of her own identity, a balancing act between her roles as queen of the underworld and daughter of Demeter. Zagreus witnesses this struggle, internalizing the complex emotions that come with divided loyalties and unfulfilled desires. And what about the other gods, the extended family of Olympus, who occasionally offer Zagreus their blessings, their curses, and their unsolicited advice? Each Olympian represents a different facet of the divine, a different set of values and expectations. Zeus, the king of the gods, embodies power and authority, often viewing Zagreus with a mixture of curiosity and disdain. Athena, the goddess of wisdom and strategy, offers her guidance, but her motives are not always clear. Ares, the god of war, encourages Zagreus's fighting prowess, but his influence can be dangerous. These interactions highlight the political machinations of the Olympian pantheon, the constant jockeying for power and influence. Zagreus is caught in the middle, a pawn in their games, forced to navigate their complex relationships while trying to forge his own path. Think about the boons they offer. Each one is a reflection of their own personality and domain. Zeus's lightning strikes, Poseidon's tidal waves, Aphrodite's seductive charms, they all represent different aspects of the divine, different ways of approaching the world. Zagreus must choose which path to follow, which god to align himself with, knowing that each choice will have consequences. And let's not forget the less obvious relationships, the shades that populate the House of Hades, the minor gods and goddesses who serve in its halls. They all play a role in shaping Zagreus' understanding of the world. They offer him glimpses into the lives of mortals, the consequences of their actions, and the nature of death itself. Cerberus, the three-headed hound, is more than just a guard dog. He's a loyal companion, a source of comfort in a cold and unforgiving world. Achilles, the legendary warrior, becomes a mentor, offering Zagreus guidance and training. These relationships, though seemingly insignificant, provide Zagreus with a sense of connection and purpose. Consider the stories these characters tell. Each shade has a tale to tell, a life lived, a death experienced. Zagreus listens to their stories, learning about love, loss, betrayal, and redemption. He sees the consequences of choices, the fragility of life, and the enduring power of the human spirit. These stories shape his understanding of the world and inform his own journey. The themes of parental expectations, abandonment, and forgiveness are woven throughout these relationships, creating a rich tapestry of emotional complexity. Zagreus struggles to meet his father's expectations, feeling like a constant disappointment. He feels abandoned by Persephone during her annual departures, longing for her presence, and he grapples with the question of forgiveness, both for himself and for those who have wronged him. These are universal themes that resonate with audiences on a deep, emotional level. We all struggle with our relationships with our parents, our partners, and our friends. We all experience feelings of abandonment, disappointment, and resentment. Zagreus' journey is a mirror reflecting our own struggles, offering us hope and inspiration as we navigate the complexities of our own lives. Think about the pressure to conform. Zagreus is expected to follow in his father's footsteps, to become the next lord of the Underworld. But he resists this expectation, yearning for something more. He wants to forge his own path, to define his own identity. This struggle is a common one, particularly for young people who are trying to break free from the expectations of their parents and society. And what about the power of forgiveness? Zagreus' journey is ultimately one of reconciliation, of finding a way to forgive his father, his mother, and himself. He learns that holding on to anger and resentment only poisons the soul, preventing him from moving forward. Forgiveness is not about condoning wrongdoing, but about releasing the grip that the past has on the present. The family dysfunction in Hades plays out on a cosmic scale, affecting not only the lives of the gods, but also the fate of the mortal world. The tension between Hades and Persephone, the rivalry between the Olympians, the constant struggle for power. These conflicts have far-reaching consequences, shaping the course of history and influencing the lives of countless individuals. Consider the impact of Hades' isolation. His refusal to engage with the world above creates a disconnect between the realms of the living and the dead. This disconnect can lead to imbalances in the natural order, disrupting the flow of life and death. Zagreus' journey is an attempt to bridge this gap, to bring harmony and balance back to the world. And what about the role of fate? Are the gods simply puppets of destiny, bound by forces beyond their control? Or do they have the power to shape their own lives and the lives of others? Zagreus' story suggests that even the gods are not immune to the forces of fate, but that they also have the power to choose their own path, to defy expectations, and to create their own destiny. But these family ties, as tangled and complex as they are, form the foundation upon which Zagreus builds his identity. They are the crucible in which he is forged, the source of his strength, and the motivation behind his relentless quest. They teach him about love, loss, betrayal, and ultimately the power of forgiveness. However, understanding these relationships is only one piece of the puzzle. To truly grasp the significance of Zagreus' journey, we must delve deeper into the mythological themes that underpin his story, the themes of death, rebirth, and transformation. For it is in this cyclical dance that we find the true meaning of his eternal escape. Chapter 5. Death, Rebirth, and Transformation. The mythological cycle analyzes the deeper mythological themes of death and resurrection. Zagreus' role as a bridge between worlds, the symbolism of his repeated deaths and rebirths, and how his journey reflects universal patterns of growth and self-discovery. Death. It is the ultimate unknown, the final frontier. A concept that has haunted humanity since we first looked up at the stars and pondered our place in the cosmos. But what if death wasn't an ending? What if it was merely a doorway, a transition, a chance for rebirth? In the world of Zagreus, Prince of the Underworld, this is not just a philosophical question, it is a lived reality. Zagreus dies. A lot. Each escape attempt ends in a fiery, often humiliating, return to the House of Hades. But these deaths are not failures. They are integral to his growth, to his understanding of himself, and to the unraveling of the mysteries surrounding his family. His repeated demise and resurrection echo ancient myths, stories of gods and heroes who braved the realm of the dead and returned transformed. Think of Orpheus, the legendary musician who descended into Hades to retrieve his beloved Eurydice, or Heracles, who completed his 12 labours, including a journey to the Underworld to capture Cerberus, the three-headed hound guarding its gates. These tales, and countless others, speak to humanity's enduring fascination with the afterlife and the possibility of overcoming death. Zagreus, in his own way, embodies this archetype. He is not simply a warrior hacking his way through hordes of enemies. He is a seeker, a questioner, a prince wrestling with his destiny. And each death, each return to the Styx, provides him with new knowledge, new skills, and a deeper understanding of the world around him. But let's delve deeper into the symbolism of death and rebirth within the game. What does it truly mean for Zagreus to die and be reborn countless times? Is it merely a game mechanic, a way to increase the difficulty and extend the gameplay? Or is there something more profound at play? Consider the roguelike genre itself. Games like, where the world is procedurally generated and changes with each playthrough, often involve a cycle of death and progression. You start with limited abilities, learn from your mistakes, and gradually become stronger with each attempt. This mirrors the process of learning and growth in real life. We stumble, we fall, we get back up, and we keep moving forward. Zagreus' journey is no different. Each time he dies, he returns to the House of Hades a little wiser, a little stronger, a little more determined. He unlocks new abilities, forges stronger bonds with the gods, and uncovers more secrets about his past. His deaths are not setbacks, they are opportunities. Opportunities to learn, to adapt, and to evolve. And what of the Underworld itself? It is not merely a static backdrop for Zagreus' adventures. It is a dynamic, ever-changing realm that reflects his emotional state and his relationships with the other characters. The architecture shifts, the enemies become more challenging, and the dialogue changes as Zagreus progresses on his journey. The Underworld, in this sense, can be seen as a representation of the human psyche, a complex and often contradictory landscape filled with both light and darkness, joy and sorrow, hope and despair. Zagreus' journey through the Underworld is a journey into his own soul. He confronts his fears, his insecurities, and his past traumas. And through this process, he emerges stronger and more complete. But Zagreus is not alone in his journey. He is aided by the Olympian gods, who grant him boons that enhance his abilities and provide him with glimpses into their own stories and motivations. These boons are not merely power-ups, they are symbolic gifts that represent different aspects of the human experience. Zeus, the king of the gods, grants Zagreus boons that increase his power and speed. These boons represent ambition, leadership, and the desire for control. Poseidon, the god of the sea, offers boons that allow Zagreus to manipulate water and control the flow of battle. These boons represent adaptability, resilience, and the ability to navigate the unpredictable currents of life. And then there's Athena, the goddess of wisdom and strategy, who provides Zagreus with boons that enhance his defensive abilities and allow him to anticipate his enemies' attacks. These boons represent knowledge, foresight, and the ability to overcome challenges through careful planning and strategic thinking. Each god, in their own way, offers Zagreus a piece of themselves, a piece of the puzzle that he needs to complete his journey. And as Zagreus collects these boons, he not only becomes stronger, but he also gains a deeper understanding of the divine forces that shape his world. Now, let's consider Zagreus' role as a bridge between worlds. He is, after all, the son of Hades, the ruler of the Underworld. But he is also connected to the world above through his desire to reach Mount Olympus and uncover the truth about his mother. This duality places him in a unique position, allowing him to traverse the boundaries between life and death, darkness and light. In many mythologies, figures who bridge the gap between worlds are often seen as mediators, healers, or guides. They possess a unique understanding of both realms and are able to navigate the challenges and dangers that lie within each. Think of Hermes, the messenger god, who guides souls to the underworld and carries messages between the gods and mortals. Or Hecate, the goddess of magic and crossroads, who is associated with both the underworld and the world above. Zagreus, in a similar vein, acts as a bridge between the underworld and the world of the living. He brings hope and change to the stagnant realm of Hades, and he carries the weight of the underworld with him as he attempts to reach the surface. His journey is a testament to the power of connection and the importance of breaking down the barriers that separate us. But what is the ultimate goal of Zagreus's repeated deaths and rebirths? Is he simply trying to escape the underworld and reach Mount Olympus? Or is there something more profound at stake? The answer, as you might suspect, lies in the deeper mythological themes that underpin the game's narrative. The cycle of death and rebirth is a recurring motif in mythology and religion across the world. It represents the cyclical nature of life, the constant ebb and flow of energy, and the potential for transformation and renewal. Think of the Egyptian myth of Osiris, who was murdered and dismembered by his brother Set, only to be resurrected by his wife Isis. Or the story of the phoenix, a mythical bird that dies in flames and is reborn from its ashes. These stories, and countless others, speak to the enduring human belief in the possibility of overcoming death and achieving immortality. They offer hope in the face of despair and remind us that even in the darkest of times, there is always the potential for rebirth and renewal. Zagreus's journey reflects this universal pattern of growth and self-discovery. Each time he dies, he sheds a part of himself, releasing old patterns and beliefs that no longer serve him. And each time he is reborn, he emerges stronger, wiser, and more aligned with his true purpose. His repeated deaths are not a curse, they are a catalyst for transformation. They force him to confront his limitations, to learn from his mistakes, and to embrace his potential. And through this process, he becomes more than just the son of Hades. He becomes a symbol of hope, resilience, and the power of the human spirit to overcome any obstacle. But let's consider a different perspective. What if Zagreus's repeated deaths are not just about personal growth, but also about the liberation of others? His actions disrupt the established order of the underworld, challenging Hades' rigid control and inspiring others to question their own fates. Perhaps his true purpose is not simply to escape, but to create a ripple effect of change, to awaken the potential for growth and transformation within the very heart of the underworld. This interpretation adds another layer of depth to his journey, suggesting that his actions have far-reaching consequences that extend beyond his own personal quest. And what of the gods who aid him on his journey? Are they merely offering him boons to help him escape? Or are they also invested in his success for their own reasons? The gods, as we have seen, are not always benevolent or selfless. They have their own agendas, their own rivalries, and their own desires. Perhaps they see Zagreus as a pawn in their own cosmic game, a means to an end that will benefit them in some way. Or perhaps they genuinely believe in his potential and want to see him succeed. The ambiguity of their motivations adds another layer of intrigue to the story and forces us to question the true nature of divine intervention. The beauty of Zagreus' journey is that it allows for multiple interpretations. It is a story that can be read on many different levels, each offering a unique perspective on the themes of death, rebirth, and transformation. Whether you see him as a rebellious son seeking freedom, a symbol of hope in a world of darkness, or a pawn in a cosmic game, there is no denying the power and resonance of his story. But this exploration of death and rebirth is only one facet of Zagreus' complex and compelling narrative. His journey is also deeply intertwined with his family relationships, particularly his fraught dynamic with his father Hades and the mysteries surrounding his mother Persephone. How do these relationships shape his destiny, and what secrets lie hidden within the house of Hades? You won't want to miss as next we delve into the intricate web of family ties that bind Zagreus to the underworld and beyond. I hope you're as amazed by this as I am. If you want to stay updated on more content like this, make sure to subscribe and join our community of curious minds. Trust me, what's coming next will challenge everything you thought you knew. Chapter 6, Beyond the Underworld, Legacy and Modern Resonance, concludes with an exploration of why Zagreus resonates with modern audiences, his impact on contemporary mythology and gaming, the universal themes his story embodies, and what his tale teaches us about identity, belonging, and the courage to choose our own path. Zagreus's tale, once a whisper in fragmented texts, now roars through the modern imagination. But why? Why does a figure so obscure, so contradictory, resonate so powerfully today? The answer, perhaps, lies in his very imperfections. In a world saturated with flawless heroes and unattainable ideals, Zagreus offers something different. He is a prince who fails, who dies, who rises again, not through divine perfection, but through sheer stubbornness and the help of found family. He embodies the messy, imperfect journey of self-discovery that so many of us undertake. Think about it. How many stories celebrate constant, unwavering success? How many acknowledge the stumbles, the setbacks, the moments of utter despair that are integral to any meaningful growth? Zagreus's story does. Each escape attempt, each agonizing defeat is not a failure, but a lesson. A chance to learn, to adapt, to grow stronger, both physically and emotionally. You, the player, experience this growth alongside him. You feel the frustration, the determination, the eventual triumph. This is not just a game, it's a mirror reflecting our own struggles. And then there's the theme of family. Oh, the family. Dysfunctional doesn't even begin to describe the relationships within the House of Hades. A father who is emotionally distant, a mother who is absent, and a whole host of gods and goddesses with their own agendas and unresolved issues. Sound familiar? The brilliance of Zagreus's story is that it takes these universal family dynamics and amplifies them to a cosmic scale. The arguments are louder, the betrayals are deeper, but the underlying emotions are the same. The need for acceptance, the longing for connection, the struggle to break free from expectations. We all have family baggage. We all grapple with parental expectations and the desire to forge our own path. Zagreus's journey resonates because it acknowledges the pain of these struggles while also offering a glimmer of hope. He shows us that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable obstacles, it is possible to find your own family, to create your own identity, and to ultimately choose your own destiny. His impact on contemporary mythology is undeniable. He is a testament to the power of reinterpretation, of taking fragmented myths and breathing new life into them. He demonstrates that ancient stories are not static relics of the past, but living, breathing narratives that can be adapted and reimagined to speak to modern audiences. Before Zagreus, how many people outside of classical scholars knew his name? He was a footnote, a shadowy figure lurking in the margins of the Dionysian myth. Now he is a star, a complex, compelling protagonist who has captured the hearts and minds of millions, and his influence extends beyond the realm of mythology. He has also left his mark on the gaming world. He has raised the bar for narrative storytelling in roguelikes, proving that repetitive gameplay can be a powerful tool for character development and emotional engagement. He has shown that games can be more than just mindless entertainment. They can be vehicles for exploring profound themes and fostering empathy. The success of has paved the way for other developers to take risks, to experiment with unconventional narratives, and to prioritize character-driven storytelling. He has inspired a new generation of game creators to push the boundaries of what is possible and to create experiences that are both entertaining and meaningful. But perhaps the most significant aspect of Zagreus's legacy is the universal themes that his story embodies. Themes of identity, belonging, and the courage to choose your own path. Who are you? What defines you? Is it your family, your heritage, your destiny? Or is it something more, something that you create for yourself? Zagreus grapples with these questions throughout his journey. He is born a prince of the underworld, destined to follow in his father's footsteps, but he rejects this predetermined path. He chooses to defy expectations, to challenge authority, and to forge his own identity. He is not defined by his parentage, but by his actions, by his relentless pursuit of freedom, by his unwavering loyalty to his friends, and by his willingness to embrace the unknown. And that's a powerful message. It's a reminder that we are not bound by our circumstances, that we have the power to shape our own lives and that the journey of self-discovery is worth the struggle. Belonging. It's a fundamental human need. We all crave connection, a sense of community, a place where we feel accepted and understood. Zagreus's journey is, in many ways, a search for belonging. He feels alienated from his father, estranged from his mother, and adrift in the cold, bureaucratic world of the underworld. He finds solace in unexpected places, in the company of his loyal companions, in the fleeting encounters with the gods, and in the quiet moments of reflection amidst the chaos. He learns that belonging is not about bloodlines or titles, but about shared experiences, mutual respect, and unconditional love. He creates his own family, a community of misfits and outcasts who accept him for who he is, flaws and all. And finally, there is the courage to choose your own path. It's not easy. It requires facing your fears, challenging your assumptions, and defying the expectations of others. Zagreus demonstrates this courage time and time again. He defies his father, he escapes the underworld, and he embraces a destiny that is entirely his own. He doesn't know what awaits him on the surface. He doesn't know if he will succeed or fail. But he chooses to take the risk, to follow his heart, and to create a life that is authentic and meaningful. His tale is a reminder that true freedom lies not in escaping our circumstances, but in choosing how we respond to them. It's about embracing the unknown, taking risks, and forging our own path, even when it's difficult. Zagreus is not just a mythological figure or a video game character. He is a symbol of hope, resilience, and the enduring power of the human spirit. He is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, it is possible to find your own light, to create your own family, and to choose your own destiny. His story resonates because it speaks to the universal human experience, the struggle for identity, the longing for belonging, and the courage to choose your own path. These are themes that transcend time and culture, and they are what make Zagreus's tale so timeless and enduring. He has shown us that even a prince of the underworld can find his own way, and that perhaps, just perhaps, we can too. But the story doesn't end there. While Zagreus found his peace, a different kind of storm was brewing. A subtle shift in the cosmic balance, a new player entering the game, and an ancient prophecy that threatened to unravel everything Zagreus had fought so hard to achieve. What you're about to hear changes everything you thought you knew about the gods, the underworld, and the very nature of fate itself. Because next we uncover the hidden gods and forgotten pacts that set the stage for a sequel.